as Sutphen, and we are channeling Abenda.
Hi, Abenda.
I want to see you again.
Your
Try
eyes.
to open her eyes.
Yes, you did it. Hello. Nice to see you. You're doing great. Well done.
We can't hold them open for very long.
That was longer than last time.
Yes, I don't know how to move the body quite right.
Well, you
I'll have
can.
to ask Tara
Okay.
next time she sees me.
You moved the body much more last time too.
Yeah.
Your hands are moving.
Yeah, she said I must start moving the body.
Okay.
I'm going to be there. I should. Not scary before.
Not scared anymore.
She said I could be scary
She said that?
at times. Yes.
Okay, well, I don't think so, but
She's very funny.
yeah. I think she teases you, doesn't she?
No,
Yes.
she gives me a very hard time. Yes.
And you're being very good natured about it.
Oh, yes. We have learned to get along very well now.
Right. Are you happy that she's facilitating you more now?
Yes, that is our contract.
Okay.
It is part of our predestined plan
Okay.
and our soul agreement. And so we must go forward to be able to fulfill our destiny. We only have so much time upon the planet. You know, we have to work when we work, and I work from here, and she works from there. And now we are making the switch a little. But yes, she used to do this all the time and then got out of the hang of it. You know, we used to do the writing all the time, many hours a day for many years. And now she's just come back full circle after her adventures and her different events in her life.
She's back. And that's what we're going to focus on.
Yes. Yeah, she's back as far as planning with me. And we talked about this because she was saying that she was laughing actually, saying that, you know, she's come to not think that she was a weird person because her work has become so in vogue. And so she has to go back into weird. And we laughed about it. We laughed about it. Yes. I mean, you know, I'm not as hardy about it as she is, but she's very hardy about giving herself a hard time as far as she's going to go ahead and channel me.
I think the timing is now.
Timing has been now. Yeah, the timing is always perfect, of course. You know, she has always channeled me since the early 80s, 1980s.
Ah.
Yes. In the other century, you guys have all evolved into another century now. It's like I gotta get with it, get with the times.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what is the role of our generation, Abenda?
The role of the new world. Well, it's gone really fast into the technology age. And so with that, there's great minds being created every day. So much more than when it was the industrial age and before that. All the ages before, or the rate of speed that your mind has to keep up with computers is sometimes where you all become confused. You're thinking that your brain isn't going in a fast enough mode. But in reality, you are all doing quite well with the technology that's being offered in your today's world. And you'll only get better and better at it. And many people have come now to support and bolster the mental support and the physical support, because people need to move. You can't eat from the computer, so people still have to farm the ground and love the land, promote all the planting and all the harvesting of the planet. So these are things that, many jobs are coming into order, and things will go forward in a nice style of coming.
What is the role of our generation, Abenda?
What do you mean the role?
Why? What do we want? What are we here to accomplish? Or Tara and my generation.
Oh, your generation. See,
Yeah.
you're not, that was not a clear.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was not clear. I was only about the role of human.
Ah.
Because the span of 100 years is nothing.
Oh.
So for your generation, as far as the 10 year that you're born, the 10 years that you're together with people your age,
yes,
that kind of generation, like your high school generation, your college generation, that your generation coming up into sight is now all of a sudden you're having to hand over the keys to the second generation down below you.
Okay.
So the thing is that they are feeling that they know better now.
Yes.
And they do. They will live on the planet. They have to sustain themselves now for 20 years longer than your generation, if that's what you mean.
So have we fulfilled our role?
Yeah, the camaraderie of your group. Yes. Oh, as far as you personally, no.
I guess I'm speaking more generally.
Yes, when you speak generally is good, as far as it can be general in America or the Western world or the Eastern world, or the world as a whole, but the world all moves at different paces and different, and everybody's not the same. So it's really hard to say, even in America, the East and the West is very different compared to, you're just talking about the West, people in the West, or the people of the East, or the people in the center. But as far as getting back to what is their purpose, or what have they fulfilled their purpose, nobody has fulfilled their purpose upon the planet. Nobody fulfills their purpose until the day they die and leave. And then they either had a chance to fulfill whatever their list of what they wanted to accomplish in this life, or they didn't get to any of it. You get it, it's an either or sort of thing. But it's not a bad thing. as long as you're kind to people and nice to people and not hurting anyone. This harming different people is not we don't see it on this side as being right. There is something wrong with their mind, and there's something wrong with their sensibility on everything. So, we've tried to keep all of who we watch safe from malady like that. But as far as the purpose, let's go back to this purpose. As a say your age group, purpose is that handing over the keys doesn't mean that you give them a car. It's just giving them a set of the keys.
Got it.
So that you can all go in the same direction. And so this same direction goes into giving higher knowledge to those below, and to be a part of the world still. You personally have many, many years left. Tara has many, many years left upon the planet. There is much work to do. And so going forward is just an easy transitory phase.
Okay, like a progression.
It's a very easy upcoming.
Okay. All right.
But everybody's individual purpose. Now we can talk about everybody's individual purpose.
Okay.
Everybody's individual purpose. Before they were born, they are going over with their kind of guide group, their counseling group. And that counseling group then allows them to pick and choose what they've overlooked in their soul goals, and what they would like to accomplish, and the barometer of who they want to be with and why they want to be with that person. And so say that they choose things like that they will be married for a certain amount of time, because in this society that you live in, there is a large number of divorcees now.
Yes.
But divorcee doesn't mean that you're divorcing the person generally. So they have to come into grips with why they wanted to end a relationship. In the old days, say, or your past lives, you left somebody in the lurch. Now, a lot of times it wasn't a divorce sort of thing. Divorce only came in vogue really in the 20th century. It happened before, but it didn't happen a lot. So it was just a whole different sort of game. And that game is just the game of life and procreation, and people, thinking they're not living their full lives in some kind of fashion, whether they're broken down or working too hard or not working enough.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of different scenarios. But with the divorcee in the 20th century, it gives people a chance now on that soul contract, on these soul agreements, to be able to meet different people that they have to get a little more finished business with. So the task at hand would be, maybe they loved somebody and they wanted to stay married to them, but somehow they needed to create enough of a rift because they had someone else coming in that they actually had a terrible contract with. And they need to see how they can figure that out for a few years. And then they go, and maybe that contract, that goes for a certain amount of time. And then they have to figure out their next contract. But they have contracts and contracts lined up for themselves because they've decided to do it all in this lifetime, where, say, the divorcee was, was a theme for for 40 or 50 years. So maybe going on even 60 years, that theme has been going, has been a part of the world. And so therefore souls come in to inhabit humans, to be able to establish themselves into that pattern, whatever those that karma is, so that they can go faster. Like technology is so fast, like the brains are speeding up, you guys' bodies are speeding up. You're having to think things through. And so the same thing is happening with your predestined plans and all these people that you're now allowed to meet through time travel of airplanes and cars. And you're not in the horse and buggy age where you're only meeting a radius of 20 miles. You're meeting a radius now of the world. So therefore you have different contracts with different people. Okay. So that's where it becomes a little more confused, but it's all that faster sort of, you guys are going faster now.
Okay. Thank you, Abenda.
You're welcome. I hope I was telling it clearly enough.
Yes. And is there anything else you'd like to add to that? The rate of divorce is going up because the radius is not 20 miles anymore. It's the world.
Well, it's not just that. It's the contracts that you have. So it goes into a deeper meaning of everything. There's a deeper meaning. Like, would I say that someone who felt that they needed to come in to experience divorce many times, would I think that that was a good choice for them? No, not necessarily. Okay. Because, I come from trying to help you in your best possible lifetimes. And for that, it is consistency and love. It's, you don't throw away your friends and family and your beloveds. You don't throw away your life. That is not what really is to be done. But many people do that to try to get to a next stage somehow. And are they lost souls? Many are lost souls. Many really don't know what they're doing because they're not handling those contracts in the most positive direction. Because you don't have, you could say you're married to someone that you truly love, but they all of a sudden they feel a rift because they have a contract coming up with someone that's not going to be a good contract, but they feel that they must go to that contract. Okay. So the thing is do they have a choice? Yeah, they had a choice at that point, but they went with a bad contract. Even though they had the choice of staying with a good contract, they would sometimes go with a bad contract. It just depends. You don't need to go with a bad contract. It's all a choice. It's all practicality, actually. It's a reasonableness. That's why Tarot teaches judgment. You take a step forward, you take a step back, you stay still. You know when to make a move because you do not want to make the wrong choice. Why make the wrong choice over the right choice? And so right choices, that is what the teachings that I have really helped in the past with, that where is someone going to make a right choice? Where is it better to do this over doing something that doesn't help you in any way? Yes. We know that the earth plane is very destructive in its own sense. It is a planet that is constructing at all times. So you are reconstructing everything. And that's why it's like buildings and roads and now new cars and new technology and new machinery and new factories and new farm equipment, new, it's just a renewal.
Is that why we can create our own life, Abenda?
Yes, it's part of the creation process. It's the vibrational level of that creation process, because we have that same ability on where I am, but we don't try to construct, because we don't have material building tools. We don't have the tools to do it. So we're here on the mind programming level.
Right. You do construct in that way.
Yes, we construct in a different way. We construct where the soul is, where the soul began and where it will come back to, where, we help you through things that seem difficult upon the earth. We're all chosen to be with, one person primarily.
We are.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
monogamy is...
No, not monogamy. I'm saying for a spirit as myself, a spirit guide, to see. No, monogamy is a man-made. That's man-made.
Okay.
That's a man-made law. Not to say that it's not good to be a partner and to do that. And consistency in love is an important element in many contracts. But it's always just making a right choice. It's making a right choice. If you love someone, you will always love that person, no matter what. But that's it. Many people don't, they have too many contracts they're trying to work out. But you do have choices.
Okay. You choose the path.
Choose the path.
Thank you, Abenda.
Thank you, Carmen.
For sharing your wisdom.